Morning. Morning. Good bloody morning. I'm Richard. Yes, I know. And this is
Paul.
And this show is called
Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat. That's not chat as in cat in French.
That's chat.
That's chat.
Yeah.
Ah. Sunday chat.
I always got confused.
Dimanche.
Dimanche.
Le chat de dimanche.
And I always used to get chat and chien mixed up.
Chien.
And you can't really
Chien.
get your
Chat.
chat and chien mixed
Chien.
up. No. Because one you can take for a walk and the other one's a bit more difficult.
Well, you can train a cat to go for a walk.
You can. Well, I mean,
You
a
can-
cat does walk.
No, but you can take a cat on a harness if you train them from being a kitten.
Well, there was that guy that took a cat all over the world.
All
wasn't
over
there?
the world.
And a chicken. Did
And
you see
a
the
chicken, a poulet.
Poulet.
A poulet.
They went, I think they did a lot of sailing and canoeing. I think they were canoeing around the world or something. And there was the chicken at the front of the canoe.
It's like that joke, isn't it?
Is it? What
You know,
joke?
What's the joke? Why did the chicken cross the road?
It didn't cross the road, it crossed an ocean.
No, but I mean, how would you say that in French? Why? What's why?
Quel. Le poulet. No, why did.
Well, no, you can't translate directly, can you? Well, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
It doesn't work that way.
No, you have to form the sentence.
But I don't know how they would say that. Anyway, who gives a damn?
Of course, if you're British and you're trying to ask a French person in French, how did the chicken cross the road?
Why
what do you-
did the chicken cross the road? Not how.
Why?
We
did
all
the
know
chicken-
how. It used its bloody legs.
Well, it might have got on a bike or a canoe. Might have done. But the thing that British people can do when they're asking foreigners something is, of course, just shout loudly in English and talk slowly.
Was that what you do?
Why did the chicken cross
Paul,
the road?
Paul, it's just not funny. Shut up now. Ridiculous. Boondoggling away as usual. Stop jiggling like a jiggler. Really? So, welcome to Bloody Sunday Chat.
Sunday Chat!
And we're slightly hungover.
Are we?
Well, you said you felt hungover earlier.
I feel okay now though. Yeah.
Well, I feel slightly hungover. We had a few drinks and a video party last night with a friend
yeah.
for a very, very long time. It was lovely. No, it was lovely. It was actually like, we've said it before, you know, we're really getting into this video meeting up with friends. It is literally like having their head on a tripod in the room.
I thought you were going to say head on a steak or something then.
Well, it could be a steak.
Well,
Anyway,
it wouldn't be very
alive, obviously, but it is. They're there on the tripod, in the doodah, in the.
On our
You know.
tripod.
Oh, shut up! Let me talk. Their head is there on the tablet, on the tripod, and it's lovely. So we had fun, but we did drink. We decided we would let our hair down. Obviously, when I do that, it looks glamorous. When Paul does it, just looks like Wurzel Gummidge. And it's fun. So we encourage you, nous encourageons, to have video chats with your friends. Do it. Have video parties if you haven't already, because lots of people are during this time of lockdown luxury. I actually wanted to talk about this.
What, lockdown luxury?
Well, I found it interesting because people sort of post stuff. Oh, I've got a little spot. People post stuff about not going to the hairdressers or to have their nails done or to have this done, be waxed and plucked and whatevered. And I thought to myself, all these things now are considered normal things, aren't they? And they have been for quite some time, really. They have. My granny used to have her hair done once a week.
Yeah,
you know. But I also thought to myself, but these are also actually not necessities, are they?
Absolutely not, no.
Because most of them you can do at home.
Well, most of them you can do at home, but I mean that's the whole point, isn't it, of economy. You know, you need all of those services to drive the economy, therefore you need create a desire for people to want to do those things.
I know that. And I know that also those industries employ a huge number of people. But they are still, it's a luxury society that we kind of live in now, isn't it? Whereas if you think about when we were kids in the 70s, it wasn't as much because we were in, what do you call it? Recession when we were kids.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly were in the UK. So things were very different. Power cuts.
Didn't have them in Guernsey.
No, but we did in the UK.
Well, you had 4-day working week.
The 3-day week. Rubbish collections didn't happen. Power went off at a certain time every night. You know, there was quite a lot to deal with. And of course, post-war society, before that, also had an awful lot to deal with. You know, in terms of rationing. I mean, rationing went on for a long time after the war
1954,
finished.
I think.
So, you know, and the repercussions of that lasted quite a long time. So the world we kind of live in now, since the 80s, is hyper luxurious in many ways, isn't it?
Compared to that, yes.
You know, but we've become so used to that way of life that anything different from that is a bit of a shock for some people. I mean, people are having fun with it, you know, showing pictures of women with grey roots, things like that.
I'm not seeing any of these.
But I think to myself, turn grey. Let yourself go grey naturally. A friend of ours went grey naturally, and she was very resistant to it for a while. And she just looks fabulous.
Stunning.
Now.
Love the hair.
It just is amazing. So, you know, go with nature. I mean, dyeing your hair once a month is not good for you, apparently. Those chemicals can seep into the body over time. Honestly, no, they can.
But there's a few people, isn't there, that we know that we've been trying to encourage them to go natural.
Yeah. And they have.
One very good friend down the road, and I think she's now embracing it much, much more.
You do have to make adjustments to colour in other ways when you go grey. You do.
Do you?
You have to make adjustments to makeup, clothing, to not wash yourself out and make you...
I don't wash myself.
We're not talking about you, Paul. Are we? You always manage to bring it back to you, don't you? Yes. We're not talking about you. We're talking about women going grey. You don't give a damn what you look like normally anyway. Plus, you're not that grey.
Aren't I?
No, not really. You're sort of like you've got grey bits, but you're sort of mousy brown blonde with damaged areas.
It's normally got a few leaves and a mouse in there as well.
Better not have. Don't bring any mice into this house.
I did, when I was watching the TV the other day after I'd been at the allotment, and
You
Richard
did have
came in
leaves.
he picked things out.
You did have leaves in your hair.
When the ceanothus at the plot is just about to go over.
Is it? Is it?
It's it looked lovely, and it's a very pale one, and it's just about to go over, and therefore the tiny flowers are sort of falling out. And yesterday, whilst I was doing something and trying to get the wheelbarrow out, I did sort of plunge my head into the ceanothus bush by accident. And I then turned my camera on to see what I looked like, and I had sort of like little blue halo.
Oh, that's nice. You should have taken a photo.
I should have done,
because people would have enjoyed that, Paul.
Yeah.
You've got to think about what people would enjoy.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Honestly. Anyway, let's move forwards with the subject, les subjets.
Bloody, is it going to be
Pour
French or...
Chat le dimanche.
Oh, what is next?
The weather.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted to talk about the weather briefly because it has been absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, sunny, blue skies, warm sunshine, but it's cold this morning. And I tell you what, the temperature's been changing all the time. I mean, my nipples just don't know whether to go in or come out. Not that they're inverted, but you know what I mean. Sometimes when it's cold, I quite like it when it's cold because it almost gives you a chest lift when everything tightens up, don't you find? No? Oh well, maybe
I think we're talking about you now.
Maybe your nipples aren't as responsive as mine.
I don't think they are, actually.
Are they?
No, I don't think they are.
Mine just react at the touch of a button.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, weather, cold but beautiful. And rain is on the way for London town, Londres.
Town.
I don't know, I'm feeling all sort of French today. I'm not sure why.
He's feeling all French and gay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at French, but I do like saying the odd word.
Boulangerie.
Boulangerie. Boulangerie.
Haberdasherie.
That's not a word.
Upholstery.
What?
Upholstery.
No, Paul.
We're sitting on it now.
It wouldn't even be E, would it? If it was that word, it'd be upholsterie.
But that's what we do, don't we? We put on an accent, just turn an English word into a French word.
But seriously, it's something like 75% of the words in French and English are the same.
Yeah, it's a romantic language, yeah.
Well, no, Paul, you're wrong. It's not a romantic language, it's a romance language.
A romance language.
But English isn't a romance language.
No.
But the differences between those languages is vast as well. An Italian person very often cannot understand a French person.
Oh, absolutely
and
not.
Spanish and French. Yet many of the words are similar in all of these languages, but the English language has borrowed from the French. We are not a romance language.
Well, of course, over the years, there was, France and England, there was an awful lot of war going on between France and England and, Spain as well, obviously.
So when you learn French, a good teacher should point out that fact, that a lot of the words are very similar.
Like legend.
What?
Legend. There's so many words that derive from French.
But I wouldn't use legend as a typical example, Paul.
You might not, but I did.
No, not really. Anyway, let's move on from that, Paul, because you don't know these things.
And of course, library as well. Because what is French for a book?
Livre.
Livre. So you can see how the V becomes B, and you end up with library. Over ages.
Yeah, again, not the greatest of examples, really, Paul.
Organisation.
No, that's again not a very good example.
It's the same.
But they're not very good typical examples.
Well, give us an example then.
Paul. No. I'm
Can't
moving on
think of
now.
any.
Oh, I've not rehearsed this part.
We don't rehearse anyway.
No, I know, but I like to have a think about things in advance.
Is that what you're doing when you're upstairs preening your
En
hair?
avance.
En avance, yeah.
En avance.
Yes. Very good. Next!
So, Paul, tell us, what has the weather, the good weather, meant to you this week?
It's been great on the plot, but I have had to have a shirt to sort of put on over t-shirts and things.
Oh, why?
Because it's got a bit chilly.
Oh.
When the sun has gone in, it's got quite chilly.
I thought you were going to say to protect you from the scorching hot sun and burning your delicate lily white skin.
I was going to say one thing that I heard on the radio this week, and it is so obvious, and it was on the TV as well, is that in April the sun is as strong as it is in August.
Août.
Août. Avril, août.
What, said in that sort of clearing your throat way? Avril.
Yeah, because they're obviously equidistant from the Midsummer's Day. So the sun, actually, the power of the sun is at the same level. And we must remember to put sun cream on. There was somebody who was working out, had their top off and was working out at the allotment, and I said, I hope you put sunscreen on. He went, no, I haven't.
Did you put it on for him?
I didn't.
That would have been an interesting video.
So you throw me now.
Why is he
But
attractive?
he did say the next day, he did say, actually, you're right, my shoulders have got a little bit burnt. So, particularly if your skin's not protected at all, not open to the sun at all. So like your shoulders, often our shoulders are obviously covered with shirts and things like that. So as soon as you uncover them, it really is bare flesh getting the full brunt of the sun. So yeah, he had a little bit of sunburn.
Did he?
Mm.
Oh.
So do put that sunscreen on.
Factor 100.
And you should put it on your hair as well, shouldn't you?
Well, you can put a little bit on your hair because hair is prone to UV damage over time.
Yeah.
For example,
when are you going to cut my hair?
not exposed, total exposure.
Not smiling, total smiling. Oh, I haven't shaved. You haven't shaved.
When am I going to cut your hair? Well, it was going to be today, and we were going to video it too because we're complete YouTube whores. But I don't honestly think that we will have time today to do it.
No.
Because that's a whole other video with angles to be considered, extra props to be considered, and possibly even additional shots and angles.
You've said that already.
Not angles.
Not
What
angles.
do I mean? What do I mean?
I don't know.
No
I don't know what
angles.
you're
No, I
talking
do mean
about.
angles.
Well, you said that already.
Les onglets.
Les ongles. That's the English. Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't think we will get round to doing that today. Plus, it's the end of the bloody week.
No, you
It's
said
time for a nice relax.
You can't change this week on week. You said
It
the other
is the
week
start
that
of the
Sunday is the start
Well,
of
it's
the
the
week.
start of my vlogging week,
Right.
but it is the end of our working week. So today I think there should be time for relaxation, lying down on the sofa,
You were lying on the sofa yesterday.
just for a short while.
About 3 hours.
No, it was very short.
It was about 2 hours 30.
No, it was about an hour.
Yeah, it was about an hour.
It was about an hour.
I had to go to the plot, and when I came back, you were lying on
I
the
was
sofa.
having a rest. One is allowed to have a rest, Paul. So anyway, you wanted also to talk about compost issues this week, Paul. It's like a bloody seal.
I do love seals. I like the really big ones as well, like sea lions, aren't they?
Compost issues,
yeah,
Paul. Focus.
Friday, I was expecting a compost delivery. And it's quite an important one because, as you may know, we're not growing underneath the vinyl areas this year. So we've actually got less growing area than we had last year. Next year we'll have more. So
What are the vinyl areas?
Where I put vinyl down, vinyl banners down. Obviously he watches my videos.
I always
length.
watch them all the way through.
So what I wanted some planters, like tomato planters, but I'm going to be growing, I think, beans in them. Because beans don't need quite such a deep root run where tomatoes like to have their roots a bit deeper. So yeah, I ordered these on the 2nd of April. I got a delivery date of the 24th of April. On the Thursday, on the 23rd of April, I got a text saying that they were going to be delivered between 7 and 6. And I thought, yay, fantastic. And then Friday was a really busy day because I had lots of stuff with social farms and gardens, conference calls and things. And anyway, by 9 o'clock in the evening, nothing had arrived. Sent off an email.
What's that?
This sounds very much like Vivi. I did a burple then.
Disgusting.
Very much like Vivi, because she's had compost gate as well, obviously, as you all know. And then I found out yesterday when I was at the plot that our local garden centre, which I did email several weeks ago asking if they were doing deliveries of compost or other things, and they came back and said, no, we're shut, full stop. I was told that they were now doing deliveries. So you have to email them. So I emailed them. I virtually within a matter of moments, I got an email back, not an automatic email, but an email from a person saying, this is the compost that's available. This is how you order. So I ordered what I wanted straight away. And about 10 minutes later, I get a call from one of our plot holders who works at that garden centre. And he was fulfilling the order and he saw my name and he said, okay, well, I'm coming home soon. Shall I drop them off to you? So, yeah, within, I think it was about 80 minutes from sending an email to the local garden centre to them being delivered to my plot. Not just to the allotment gate. But yeah, he was so great. He helped me take them to the plot as well. So
Lovely.
that was great, fantastic. So we'll see what happens with the other compost. I know this is sort of just a repeat of Vivi, and I think the interesting thing is this must be happening to so many people at the moment, because of course we're all desperate to be doing those sowings and getting things going. Yeah, fingers crossed that you're not in that boat. But I was very pleased. And it's a compost. They had a compost that I really like as well. So that was really good.
Peat free.
It's peat free. But
now, we did have a question on Planet Vegetaria. That's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. We did have a question about peat, and it appears that some people aren't too sure what peat is. Now, peat is basically a layer of, I think, semi-decayed matter, usually found in boggy areas.
Yeah.
And traditionally, peat would be cut in squares
With a special fork.
by the local people, dried, and then burned.
Particularly in Ireland.
Now, this is problematic because it's taking away the natural environment, which is the habitat for various insects and birds and other creatures. It's also releasing the carbon that is captured in the peat into the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and
Adding to climate change.
obviously being semi-decayed what's the
Matter.
word? Matter, it contains quite a lot of nutrients. So it was cut and added to compost for its nutrition.
Yeah, and
And-
to bulk out.
And also, of course, that will, the action of using that in a garden will also release the CO2 into the environment.
Yeah.
Which of course we don't want.
No.
So the use of peat is not environmentally friendly, and I still don't really understand why we're still using peat.
No, I
Really?
don't either. When
Somebody
when there's-
somewhere is selling peat
Yeah. Well,
to
yeah.
these people.
Well, the industry uses peat. That's
Well, they
it.
need to
They
stop.
need to stop. But
That's
yeah.
right. It's
But
easy.
again, it's like all these things, you know, that they say we're going to cut down year on year and year on year, instead of just saying, actually, you know what, we're not going to use it anymore. Let's just cut it
Stop.
there. Let's stop. You know.
Yeah.
But then you get into other fibres. So coconut fibre is used significantly as well. So that's coir, COIR, is used a lot. And
But what about hair? They could go to all the hair salons around the world and collect hair and
hair
use
is
that.
used for different things. Many hairdressers do sell hair. The hair that they get, they sell for other industrial purposes.
No.
Yes.
So I was right.
So
Hair
my
is
hair,
used.
my hair is going into the compost
Your hair
bin when it
can't
gets
be
cut.
used for anything, Paul. It's nutritionally dead.
Well, yeah, but that's good as well. But yeah, so do think when you're buying your compost, do try and look for something. No, not do try. Do look for something that is peat free.
Well, no, not do look. Find it and use it.
I mean,
We do.
occasionally there'll always be those times where you have to do something and you're in a corner. And I know that another plot holder was given a bag of compost, and he was a bit iffy about it because it was not peat free, and he does not use peat free, and anyway.
And Vivi had that issue as well, where she was desperate for compost and,
Yeah.
and had the peat one, and she felt terrible about it.
Well,
You know,
she quite rightly said, "Oh, I need compost," and ordered compost,
Yeah.
but was understandably in such a frenzy about needing the compost that thing about peat free just didn't raise, its head at the time. But you'll have seen that video. We're treading over old ground, really.
we're just mentioning peat because somebody
Yeah.
asked the question.
And Vivi also mentioned on the Planet Vegetaria that peat also, it acts as a sponge, so it soaks up a huge amount of water, and that natural resource is effectively a reservoir, and it reduces flooding. So when we're taking all of these natural things away from the earth, we're very often causing different water
There is
flows.
a consequence.
There is.
There is a consequence.
There is.
That's what you can say. That's concise, Paul. Yes.
Can I use the word sequestered?
Let's move forward. What were we talking about? Compost. We've moved forward from that.
You can tell we're a bit slower today.
Speak for yourself.
I thought you were going to say a French word then. Have you got a word of the week?
Word of the week.
He hasn't got a word. Oh, just make one up.
No, I did have a word of the week. There was a suggestion made and I have forgotten the word of the week. But that's okay because it's not set in stone.
Well, well,
I don't have to do a word of the week every week. I'll run out of words.
I doubt you'll ever run out of words. So is it word of every other week?
Might be. Might be whatever I bloody choose.
I like word of the week.
Well,
I like
not
the guessing
this week.
bit of it.
I can't remember. No.
Fandabidozy.
No.
Oh.
So, Paul, did you want to talk about something even more boring than the subject before?
I can't remember what the subject before was now.
Compost.
What?
You wanted to talk about doing phone conferences
Oh,
on
yeah,
the phone
I
to
did.
people with a board meeting. Board meeting. God. Board is the right word.
We normally have our board meetings for social farms and gardens face to face. We have 4 a year face to face, and then we have another 7 that are conference calls. But because we haven't been able to meet on Friday and Saturday, that's our normal days to meet for our board meetings, we've had to split those 2 days of meetings into chunks of 2 and 2.5 hour conference calls. And they've happened over the last 8 days. And technology is wonderful that you can do this. Though it is, I found it, because I chair the meetings because I'm the chair, I have found it quite challenging because you're not necessarily getting the nuances and the body language, obviously, that you would if the person was in the room with you. And I found it quite challenging to chair those meetings. And not stressful would be the wrong word, but there's been some I've had anxiety around it, because you obviously, when you're in front of people, you can sort of see who wants to come in and when they want to come in. Somebody might say something, and you can say, "Oh, okay, thanks," but so and so, can we hear from you?
You can read their body language is the one thing to say.
Yeah, but we want this to last for 3 hours, so that's why I'm doing
boondoggling.
But yeah, it was. We've had really good meetings this week, but obviously we're a members' organisation, so we have to be supporting our members at this time, and that many of the discussions that we've had have been obviously over that, but also the general sort of process of running a charity that has a £1 million turnover. So yeah, it's been interesting doing all of the technology things this week.
Oh God.
And there's been a few other calls outside of that which use like Zoom. We use GoToMeeting for our meetings, but then other people use Zoom for their meetings, or they use FaceTime for that. And yes, just even keeping on top of all of those different ways is quite challenging. Yeah, but that was it. And we've been doing quite a lot of technology stuff, haven't we? You've fallen asleep now.
Technology stuff?
Yeah. We did our quiz again on Planet Vegetaria on Wednesday evening.
That's Planet Vegetaria. Oh no, I've said that.
So that was interesting. I think that's fun. That we did charades this week. Or you did charades mainly, didn't you?
Of course.
I was the sort of like intermediary going 3 words, second syllable.
Yeah, people know what charades is, Paul.
Well, some people didn't know what charades was. Anyway, there we are. Are we going now?
No, we've got more things to say.
Oh.
TV.
Oh.
What have you been watching and enjoying on TV this week, Paul?
We finished off.
Don't include me in this because I'm not enjoying it particularly.
Well, we finished off Bosch.
Bosch, fantastic, finished, move on.
Great. And started Devs.
Debs, yeah, quite good.
I'm really enjoying
Yeah,
that.
it's okay. It's okay. I find it's trying to be a little bit too avant-garde for its own bloody good.
It's up its own arse, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Right, okay.
But interesting story, interesting concept, bit far-fetched, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think it could be better in places.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen.
No, I'm talking about how it looks, how it feels.
Oh, I think it looks great.
Yeah, but it's kind of almost like it's trying too hard.
All right.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've said before, with certain programs, that Orient Express film,
Murder on the Orient Express.
That film.
With Kenneth Branagh.
each shot was so amazing, but it kind of became a little bit tiring.
Yeah.
And I kind of almost feel that with Debs. I feel it's trying to be a little bit too like, what's that program? Oh, the Wachowski sisters. The Wachowski sisters did that program.
Amazon. No. Netflix.
Sense8.
Sense8.
I feel it's trying to look a bit too much like Sense8. And Sense8 was unique because of the storyline.
Yeah.
And because of what actually happens. But I don't know, I just felt, yeah, I don't know.
I'm really enjoying it.
It's okay, yeah, well you
Oh,
enjoy
no,
anything.
but
You'll watch anything, Paul.
You...
You'll sit and watch Murder, She Wrote all afternoon and go, oh, that's fantastic. I mean, you know.
I said to you, do you want to watch another episode? And you said yes.
Yeah, because I wanted to know what was happening.
Well, that's the whole point of the series.
But you can still criticise
a
programme on many different levels, Paul. It's not always just about the story.
No.
Because that's the whole point. I did drama. We learned how to write criticisms.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, yeah.
We did.
Got plenty.
And you have to observe a piece of entertainment on many different levels. I'm a Virgo. I can't help working on multiple levels in 3 or 4 dimensions at all times.
While sleeping and snoring on the sofa.
Sleeping, of course. Anyway.
We've also started Lock and Key.
Oh, yeah, well.
Now, it's an interesting one because I like the premise, I like the story.
You're enjoying
I like where it's going. I'm not that keen. It's got a family in it, mother and 3 kids. I think the 3 kids come across as though they are brothers and sisters.
So they're acting quite well.
I think the acting is really, really good between them, and I think the writing of their characters is really
they're
strong.
American, most of them.
I know, but then we come to the uncle, their uncle, and we come to their mum, and there's a few things that happen that you think, hang on, she wouldn't do that. I mean, at one point...
Don't tell the story.
They've just moved into this house, and the elder kids are at school, the youngest kid isn't, and the mother goes to the shops, which is a good drive away, and leaves him on his own.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit strange.
And I thought, I'm not sure. Mind you, Mum used to put me in a pram when I was a baby outside the front door. So
that was the 70s, Paul.
That was the 60s, actually.
60s.
The 60s. I wasn't in a pram when I was 3 or 4. I don't think.
Well, I don't know, you might have been too heavy to be carried.
So yeah, I'm enjoying Lock and Key. We're going to we watched 2 episodes.
So
and
Lock is the name of the family, and Key is the name of the house.
Yeah.
Key House.
Key House.
So it is a fantasy, ghosty type, mystery type, story type thing. So some of you may enjoy it. Is it on Amazon or Netflix?
Netflix. I think.
You might enjoy it.
It does. it's sort of cross genre though, because at some moments you feel it's sort of quite family,
And then somebody gets
and then
murdered.
something happens which is definitely not family.
No.
And yeah, those juxtapositions I find a bit
Awkward?
awkward. Thank you for that word. Is that your word of the week? Awkward. I think it's been his word of 28 years. No.
Lovely.
Yeah,
so
not
that's
complete.
lovely.
Do give it a go.
So it appears that people seem to think that lockdown is coming to an end. It's not. I know that certain states in America are relaxing things. I think it's a big mistake.
Well,
And-
where they are in what is this timeline, it seems to be a mistake.
I just think it's a mistake at the moment. I think we need to all chill out about it, stay locked down, stay self-isolating. This thing really needs to move forwards before we can. But the reason we mention it is because we've noticed more people in the streets. I know the weather's been good, but I don't know, there seems to have been a lot of people out and about, and a lot of people seem to be getting closer and closer to each
Yeah.
other. And it's like, you know what? No. Are you stupid? Have you got stupid written on your forehead? Because you look as though you have. And again, our neighbour had a little soiree the other day with friends. Anyway, it's not my business. I'm not going to get involved. My business is our existence and our safety and my work and Paul's allotment duties. Those are the things that concern us. But I think it's still important to think about things that you can do during lockdown to amuse yourself. Let me make a couple of suggestions. You know what I was doing the other day? Inserting Indian food names into ABBA songs. What? I think it's perfectly legitimate pastime. For example...
Did you do an Italian insertion then? Pasta time.
For example, gimme, gimme, gimme a naan after midnight. Voulez vindaloo? Huh? Chicken tikka. Chickatita. Chicken tikka. Chicken tikka. I think they're quite good. So try it yourself with your favourite band. Insert an Indian food into the title of a song.
Mama mango chutney.
That doesn't work that well, Paul.
Yeah, but you can't really. You've got to have the mama, don't you? Because
Not all of them work.
I don't think any of them.
I think
Go on,
gimme,
give us
gimme,
another
gimme a
one.
naan after midnight's quite good.
I think that is quite good. Yeah, I quite like that one.
Those are my suggestions. I'm not going to give away all my Indian food in ABBA song secrets.
We could have that as a category on the quiz night.
No.
We could. You could say,
It's my personal
gimme,
category
gimme,
for my...
gimme, question mark after midnight, and
For-
people need to
No, it's
respond.
for my personal pleasure. And if somebody else makes this go viral, I'll be very, very annoyed.
I'd be very, very surprised.
I
Go on,
could
give
go
us a few
viral.
more.
No, that's it. I'm not doing any more because it's a giveaway.
I quite like that idea though.
Yes, well, you would.
Could you do it with Kate Bush songs as well?
You might be able to. Yes. Yeah, have a think about it. It's fun. And it's
The
a way of...
man with a poppadom. No, the child with a poppadom in his eyes.
No, that just simply does not work. It's got to vaguely rhyme. It's got to vaguely rhyme, Paul. You just don't get it, do you? No.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I don't. Oh, I might have to think about things when I'm at the allotment, write things down.
For example, Culture Club, Korma Chameleon. You get it? put them in the comments below if you come up with any. What a good idea.
Can it be any song?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I just chose ABBA because, you know, I was just thinking about ABBA.
I think that's great.
Yeah, I think
I'm looking forward to everyone's suggestions.
I think you'll find I'm pretty good at those kind of things, Paul.
I think you're brilliant at that.
That's because I did drama, Paul. Improvisation is part of drama, and improvisation skills are essential during lockdown. No, they are. I'm going to improvise on your hair at some point. That's going to be fun. You wanted to finish off, Paul.
No, you've interrupted me.
Well, you need interrupting sometimes.
I did actually say to two fellow plot holders yesterday that Richard was going to cut my hair, and one of them looked quite aghast and thought that I might actually end up with a reverse Mohican. So he just put the what do you call clippers down the centre, and I'd be left with everything else.
I'm not going to use clippers, Paul.
No, I did say you'd be using
good
scissors.
Hairdresser doesn't use clippers. No.
They use a lot of clippers for the shaping.
No, well, they do in modern hairdressing. However,
do you think you could put some dazzle lines in mine?
Look, years ago, when I was regularly seeing a friend who was a hairdresser, she used to come to my house and cut my hair. She only ever used clippers right at the end just to take hair on the neck away.
Nape.
And what she would do is she would actually cut my hair short, very, very short, using scissors, because she was skilled. Skills. I'm not particularly skilled at hairdressing, but I can do my own. Whether I can do other people's is yet to be discovered. Paul, you wanted to finish by talking about how Mum is, because many of you ask about Mum's welfare, and we always like to give you a little update. So Paul, why don't you give us a little update on Mum and Guernsey?
What now?
And maybe tell us about the situation in Guernsey with lockdown at the moment.
So Mum...
Because the situation in Guernsey is very, very different to the situation in the UK, isn't it, Paul?
Yes. So Mum is doing okay. She's finding it a bit more challenging without the carers, though, no doubt about it. So she hasn't had a shower for quite a few weeks now. She's having her wash every day and is fine with that, but she does miss her shower. She loves showers.
Of course.
And she started going on her walks, as we said last week, just around the complex where she is, and that sort of 3 weeks, 4 weeks of not having walked has certainly had an impact on her mobility. But yeah, she's getting out there, she's doing what she can, but she can't wait till the carers can come back, because it's quite clear she does need that help, particularly in the morning and the evening. So fingers crossed that will happen soon. Guernsey has been quite interesting. It's had very, very open daily briefings, which have been broadcast on Facebook and other things, and very open questioning of the deputies in Guernsey and those that are involved right from the beginning, which very different situation to what's happened in Jersey. But actually in Guernsey they're starting to feel that they've got over that peak, and are beginning to relax some of the restrictions. So sort of some jobs have started again, like farming jobs, outdoor jobs, things that are effectively done outdoors are starting again. So that's good, but that's just work. That doesn't mean people can go and start playing golf or something. You know, that's not what that means. Though those who are in outside work have been able to start working again from, I think it was yesterday, Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. But at the moment, there's still only absolutely requested and essential travel to and from Guernsey.
So we still can't go.
No. So
No, and it's not. It wouldn't be safe for us to go because we would not want to carry the virus to your mum's because we stay with mum, and that wouldn't be safe in itself. So you just can't do it, can you? I mean, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a while before we can go to Guernsey, which is okay, but we both like to see your mum on a regular basis because it's fun, and we like to give her a fun time and drive around, get out and do stuff. So we're missing doing that, and it's good for her. Plus, it's kind of good for us.
And it's good for my brother because it gives my brother a break.
Yeah.
So when we're there, we will see my brother maybe once. Whilst we're there, he'll come over and see us. But the rest of the time, we're doing the shopping for mum and looking after mum. So it gives him a break from that. Because he's still working and has been working throughout as well, so it can be quite busy. And of course, with the restrictions, it's only really my brother that has been going to see mum as well.
Yeah. So, although your niece popped and saw her from at a distance from the garden.
Yeah, the other side of the patio, the other side of mum's garden.
So that was quite good.
So as you may know, mum overlooks the sea, and there's a wall at the front of her property, and my niece and her family
visited the wall and said hi.
Yeah, for mum's birthday. So
lovely. Moving on.
Sorry.
That's it.
I've been boondoggling, have I?
That's bloody it.
I've just been going on and on.
Well, Paul, you don't have the gift of the gab like I have.
No, I don't.
You find it quite hard sometimes to get your words out, don't you?
I do.
Because, just because.
Yes.
It's a shame, isn't it, really?
I've always got so much going on in my head. That's the thing, and sometimes too much, as well.
That's when your brain's going faster than your mouth.
It is, yeah.
Mine just all comes out in a stream of absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
Just naturally trips off the tongue. I know. It's because I did drama.
I like the way you say that. Tongue.
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 I know, I say tongue.
Tongue. Tongue.
You say tongue.
Tongues.
I say tongue.
Tongues. I don't know what it is correctly. I don't really care. I've always said tongue. It's because I'm a northerner.
I've always said tongue.
Tongue. Tongue.
Tong tang.
Tonga.
Dong dong. Dong dong.
Tinker tonka. Stick it up your honker. So, we're saying goodbye now. Goodbye from London. That's London, UK, England. Lockdown. 2020. Lockdown.
Gardening zone? What's the gardening zone?
I don't know what the bloody gardening zone is.
8A.
Gardening zone 8A. Lockdown lovelies. Lockdown London lovelies. Luxuries. So take care. Thank you. Bloody thank you.
We haven't got a drink. We need to go and have a drink now.
I need a drink.
Not
an alcoholic drink.
No,
not at this time of day.
I think it's time for a coffee.
I think it is time for another coffee, and I'll get editing with this and get it uploaded as soon as possible.
I'm going to go down to Plot, and I'm going to top dress the early potatoes because they're all
coming up.
Well up now. So
remember, you need to earth up your potatoes.
Earth up those potatoes.
You do. Don't just leave them. Earth them up.
Earth them up.
You have to add earth.
Earth. That's
up.
what's earthing up.
Earthing up. Even if they're in pots.
Yes.
Remember,
yes.
you don't want your potatoes to go green now.
No.
Nobody likes a green potato.
No. No. We know why as well. They're toxic.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic. Make you very, very poorly. So, bye for now. Take care. And we'll see you in the week. Daily vlogs. Daily. Every day. Sometimes twice a day. I know. What? It's called a sharp intake of breath.
I was just checking that you weren't just about to collapse. That's what I was doing.
No.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, our faithful, lovely viewers from all around the world, all around the world. So take care. Bye for now.
Around
Around the world.
Around the world. Around.
Stop it now, Paul. Thank you. Come again. Hope you enjoyed it.
I don't think that one at the back did. Look.
They've fallen
That's
asleep.
rude.
They've fallen asleep. I know. Terrible.
Honestly.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.